talk about the time the Raging Cajun destroys half of New York City while fighting the Merc with the Mouth. Oddly enough, our story begins with Spider-Man visiting a museum and trying to enjoy some downtime in the city. His quiet day off became anything but when all of a sudden he gets hit in the head with a billy club. See Daredevil standing there telling Spider-Man very matter-of-factly that he's mad at him. Spidey, not wanting to destroy the museum that they're in, goes to get away, but Daredevil is chasing him ferociously, and it seems the two are going to do what superheroes do all too often. Beat the hell out of each other instead of trying to stop a bad guy. At least as they're fighting and crashing through buildings and gambling games, they tell the people in there that they're sorry, that this is just standard superhero stuff. They just tell them that this is either a slight political or philosophical difference. That's what all of these superhero fights are supposed to represent, right? After crashing through a theater and coming out the other side, they think, damn, this is a long superhero fight. And as the Webhead and the Man Without Fear continue to destroy the city, word starts to spread. Until eventually, it reaches Matt Murdock and Peter Parker, who are trying to enjoy a nice quiet day at the farmer's market. Pete and Matt suit up to go get to the bottom of this to figure out what's happening, but as soon as they do, of course, everyone there begins yelling at them. Meanwhile, we see Deadpool and Gambit reaping the benefits and counting up the loot from their little diamond-encrusted charade. They're telling their facilitator, Mr. Chalmers, here that this was an absolutely incredible plan. Deadpool tells Gambit how fun this was and asks why they don't do stuff like this more often, but as Gambit drops the diamond and bends down to get it, he sees a gun strapped under the table and tells Deadpool it's because of the inevitable double cross. Feeling hurt and betrayed, he flicks an exploding diamond straight into Wade's face. And Deadpool and Gambit begin fighting through New York City for real this time. Things aren't looking great for the Merc with the Mouth. He's getting hit with exploding sewer lids, with some exploding gravel. Their fight eventually leads them back into that same farmer's market they destroyed earlier, but as the two are dueling it out trying to maim each other, they realize that they accidentally were retracing their steps. They've been running this same route forward and backwards so much over the past couple of weeks preparing for this heist that they just naturally fell back into the same routine. Little do they know that the real Spider-Man and Daredevil are right on their tails, but fortunately enough for them, one of the people that they had ripped off earlier that day had came back with a vengeance, as we see that she had a couple of jade dragons who could transform and begin attacking the Man Without Fear and the Web Slinger. And while they're battling for their lives back there, Remy and Wade have grown tired of fighting, and eventually Gambit just asks him a question. He wants to know why Deadpool would do that to him. He thought they were all good, and Deadpool tells him he has no idea what the hell he's talking about. He tells Gambit, "You were the one who charged a diamond and threw it in my face," and Gambit realizes Deadpool wasn't the one who strapped a gun under the table at all. So if Gambit didn't double-cross Wade and Wade didn't double-cross Gambit, the two come to the same realization that they have been triple-crossed, or not really triple-crossed, but just double-crossed, not by each other, but another guy. And as they rush back to their hideout, they realize that all of that work, all of that ass-kicking that they both gave and took was for nothing.